Hello there everyone, and welcome back to another Muunilinst mock update video. In this video I will be going back and working on the road once again. So I've got the main road design that goes from the battlefield all the way through the city to the back of the mock, and in this episode I'm going to be working on that and pretty much getting very close to finishing it up. And by adding that to the mock, the city and the mock overall starts to look a lot more complete, and it's very exciting. I also map out the final large-scale building, where that's going to go, how big it might be, and then how I'm going to integrate the crashed gunship with the building and where it's going to go in the mock and all sorts of stuff like that. So it's a very exciting episode. Now without any further ado, let's get started. So the last main area of the mock, down here there's a lot of empty space, and as I said earlier, I'm going to work on the road throughout this kind of section, but I need to work on one last Muunilinst building plus the gunship crash. I had a few suggestions a couple episodes ago where I was kind of talking about how I wanted to lay out the rest of the build. Had a couple great suggestions that maybe it'd be cool if the gunship crash was actually in the middle between all these buildings. That way it's kind of more like the show, where the gunship is crashed right there and it's surrounded on all sides by buildings. So I think I am going to put the gunship kind of in the middle square, kind of in that area. I think that'll actually look really cool, and the ARC troopers will be kind of pinned down from all sides and kind of taking heavy fire from all the snipers and the droids and the walkways and stuff. So that leaves us with this section right here. I want to put one last kind of decently sized building. At first I was considering replicating that building and putting it over here, but I kind of want to try something a little bit new. So I have a few different ideas on kind of how to make this building, and I actually want to make it so that most of the detail is actually on this side facing towards the camera. I kind of want the detail to be on that side because a lot of these buildings, the detail is kind of inside the streets. I want this one to be detailed on both sides, but with a focus on this front section out here. I have a few ideas and inspirations that I've kind of been looking at from different architects, like architectural buildings from different, like Germany, and some ancient Greek structures, and all kind of these different buildings that I've been kind of looking at to try to get inspiration for one last final epic building. The thing that I think is going to be really cool about this building, and that's the last thing I'll say here before I actually get started building, is I want to have the gunship kind of look like I want to have it so the gunship looks like it came in and kind of crashed into part of the building and then went through the building and kind of just landed in the middle of the square where it actually ended up getting crashed. So the building's going to be built, but I think part of it is going to be just completely blown out, like the gunship just smashed into it and kind of flew out the other side. So there'd be a lot of debris and a lot of like rubble and debris and all sorts of things kind of falling off the building and stuff like that. So that's the one thing I want to do to make this building unique, is have it seem like the gunship actually crashed through the building and kind of make this more of a destroyed building on half of the side. Meanwhile, the other half will be looking all good. So that is the plan for this episode. I'm going to go ahead and get started on the road, and then I don't know when I'll get to this building. It might be next episode, but for now I'm going to work on the road. Alright guys, so I did some more work here on the road. As you can see in the last couple clips I showed you, this part was just complete. Now I've started to work on the middle section, and it now goes back a little ways over there, as you can see. So I'll just kind of take a step back and you can have a look at what exactly it's looking like. Again, by getting this road done, it's not going to be the most exciting episode, but it really fills in the mock and makes it look more complete. So now we kind of have our road going all the way from the entrance into the middle of the city, and I'll kind of take you guys over here. It kind of comes through down over here and connects back with this side of the path right there. I kind of wanted it to have that snake pattern that I've talked about in a couple of other episodes, where it kind of weaves in and out, but a lot of these sections are still connected. So even though it's kind of a waving pattern and we have some blocks of dark gray kind of cutting in and out and making these dagger points, we still have the main road connecting throughout all these different ways, and it goes through under this bridge and connects over with this road, which of course goes back into that alleyway. So that was something I wanted to include, and this road design is the same. I've been doing it throughout the whole entire mock using tiles and 1x1 plates, 1x2 plates, different studs, and different 1x1 tiles, and all sorts of things like that. Now we've got some more spots to place troops, so that is good for figure placing down the road, because setting up figures on just a flat tiled surface is definitely a hard thing to do. Next, what I want to do here with the road, as you can see, it kind of branches off that way. The next thing that I want to do is have it come this way and start the kind of another alleyway down here, which will be in between this building and hopefully the new building that I talked about at the beginning of the episode. So I'm going to continue to work, and I'm going to kind of have that road go over through this side, back over here, and create an alleyway, and then I'll update you guys once I get that completed. Alright guys, so I worked more on this side of the road. You can see I've outlined the spot where I want the next and kind of final building for the section to be. I'm hoping it to be a fairly large building. As you can see, that's kind of the outline that I'm hoping for, and then I've got the road built all the way along the outside, so it goes around the building and connects up back with what I had earlier. So I think that works fairly well. You'll notice I've got a spot open in the middle. That is where the crashed gunship is going to go, so I'm going to kind of put some of those at different levels. So I'll probably take a plate out and lower it, kind of have the nose of the gunship kind of crash into the ground and build up some kind of piles of debris with like dark gray and light gray and some different, I think, studs. I think it'll look really nice and cool to kind of make it look like it's crashed into the ground after it's kind of gone through part of this building. So that's why the middle part is empty. But besides that middle part, the whole road is pretty much complete. So nothing too crazy with the road here. Same design as all the other spots. You can see I've got the kind of alleyway right here that would lead up through there, and then once this building is complete, there'll be another that will kind of become like an alleyway. So you can see I've got some of the boys over there getting ready to go around the corner. This is kind of some of the stuff that you might expect for the figure setup, and some of the stuff I'm looking forward to the most is where it's like these in between these alleyways between the buildings. We get kind of groups of clones or droids, mostly probably droids, but we'll have some clones like the ARC Trooper squad that'll probably be behind enemy lines here near the gunship, so they'll be kind of sneaking around some of these alleyways and things like that, and I think that'll actually look really cool. I just love like the urban combat setting. You kind of get that World War II feel where like we've got clone troopers moving down the narrow kind of streets, kind of like an Italian city and stuff like that, where you've got this architecture that's kind of feels very claustrophobic in the alleyways and stuff like that, and you can be pinned down and get ambushed. I think there's just a lot of cool opportunities for the figures and things like that. And the road kind of continues on throughout there. Again, same design. We've got the middle part open for the gunship. Once I get the gunship crash finished, I'll fill in the road around it, but I want to leave that open for now because I'm going to end up tearing it up anyways to start putting the gunship in, so there's really no point in continuing that at the moment. And right over here, again, we will have kind of another alleyway once this side of the wall of the building is complete. You'll be able to look through here, and I think we're going to get some really cool angles where you can kind of just look through the alleyway and look through and kind of see the whole MOC and the rest of the buildings over there. I think it's just going to look really cool, especially with all of our figures and speeder bikes and all that cool stuff. So that should be pretty exciting. Here is what it looks like from the back side of the build. I thought this was a really cool angle to kind of showcase how just by adding in these kind of small details on the road, which seems kind of like insignificant when we're talking about all these large-scale buildings, but it works together, and this is one thing I talk about a lot for MOC building, and one reason why I love figuring all this out is the smallest things on your MOC complement the largest things on the MOC, if that makes sense. So these small road patterns and designs really fill in the space and make the buildings fit together and stand out and make them seem a little bigger and larger and just make them kind of stick out more because you've got this sharp difference in kind of our road color. So we got dark gray right into our sand green, and we kind of go up like that, and it just kind of makes it look good and really stick out and look really good. So that's kind of why I actually enjoy doing a lot of the small detailed things, even though they can get a little tedious at times, like this road where I'm just placing tiles and studs. But once you get done with it, I think it does look pretty good. Yeah, everything is pretty much done for the road here, guys. It's a little dark back here. If you remember last episode, I still need to order some parts for the roof, which I will get to that here pretty soon. But we've got these alleyways over here. Again, these are going to be some really awesome angles for picture setups and figures and all that cool stuff. I'm so excited to do that stuff, but I need to focus and complete the build. But even here, you can see like we've got our clone troopers down here, and you can see all the way to the edge of the MOC back there where kind of the battlefield is and where the speeder bike chase is going to be. It's going to be so awesome. I'm so excited. But yeah, here's kind of this angle. Thought I'd kind of go through it real quick with you guys. Here's what we're kind of looking like. We'll start down here with the battlefield, and now just imagine this place filled with speeder bikes and clone trooper bodies and droid parts all over the place, kind of making an awesome epic battlefield. I'm very excited, and adding the road just adds so much to the MOC and making it look that much more complete. Here's a look on the opposite side of the table from the battlefield. Of course, we already had all of this done, but just having that backside now just kind of adds more, makes it more complete, and stuff like that. And we can kind of look through the archway here on the secret entrance, and just everything seems to have more detail, which is very, very exciting. So guys, again, probably not the most exciting episode, but definitely a necessary one, as the MOC is getting very close to being completed here. Like I said, the last couple steps here, you saw the outline of the building. That'll kind of be the big last large-scale building for this portion of the MOC back there. And we'll have, I want to make it a really big building, so I'm going to have to probably make one more order here for parts for the building and get that complete. Once the building is complete, we can move on to the gunship and the speeder bike charge. So I'm very excited. Again, I apologize for kind of the possibly short and not as exciting episode. You guys know through my series, I like to kind of get major progress done for each update, but I thought this was important to document and make an update video on it nonetheless, just to kind of showcase how small designs, small details really complement your MOC, even if they're not the most exciting thing. So that's about it, and let's go ahead and move on to the outro. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you did enjoy. Again, my apologies for it being maybe not a ton of progress, but it is very important that this road gets completed through the city. It's a step that I've kind of been putting off for a while, so I decided now is a good time to do that while I kind of gather my resources, order some more parts, and try to figure out how to finish this MOC off. So I'm really excited with the way the MOC is looking. I'm a little sad I've got to go back to college now for a few weeks before I can come back and build some more, because now the MOC is really starting to fill together and it's looking so awesome, and it gets me so excited to keep building this and get it complete, because it's looking so much more filled up and more epic, and I just can't wait to put figures down and finish the final building. It's all very exciting. I'm so excited. So hope you guys did enjoy the video. Make sure to leave any feedback in the comment section below. I know there's not really anything to really give a huge amount of feedback on, but anything is always greatly appreciated, and I'll be replying to you guys in the comment section below. So as always, leave your feedback in the comment section below. Hope you guys have a great day, and may the force be with you always.